All right, man. Welcome to the 290 Mo podcast. I appreciate your time. If you could introduce yourself for my viewers and listeners.
How y'all doing out there? My name is Andre Carter, and I'm a minister, first and foremost. I'm an author, award-winning author at that. I also do relationship and goal-setting coaching. All right, so I try to direct people on how to be successful, basically.
Okay.
In our school system, they don't really teach that.
Right. So, and what type of awards come with that type of work?
Well, as far as an author, I've been invited to Disney World, all type of stuff. I'm a three-time USA Congress Library of Congress award-winning author. So there's a few of them.
Okay. That's definitely dope. So with that being said, if we could, you said that you were a minister first and foremost. So if we could, let's get a little background information. Where did you grow up and how was your childhood?
Okay, well, I grew up in South Jamaica, Queens, New York. Well, who don't know that? Between actually Queens, migrated from Queens to Brooklyn, Brownsville, back to Jamaica, and back and forth. So at my childhood, wasn't all it was cracked up to be. Growing up in the hood, it's rough. Gang violence, watching people as young as 10 years old die, wondering if you're gonna make it to 18. Half of my friends didn't make it to 18. I mean, I always tell people, there's two people on my block, me and one other guy who happens to be my best friend. We're the only ones who actually made it off that block alive.
Yeah. Okay, so let me ask you this. How did you go from the block into ministry?
You might have to edit that part because you froze.
Yeah, I could do that. So how did you go from the where you grew up to into ministry? How did that change happen?
Well, my mom got remarried, and my stepfather was a minister. So basically, I grew up in the church. Then my mom became a minister, and it went on from there. Just growing up in the church. You do what you know.
Okay. So I mean, it's a lot of ministers, but I mean, a lot of ministers don't also write books. You know what I'm saying? So what made you want to put, your knowledge and your expertise on relationships into a publication?
Well, they say write what you know.
Right.
And I had a very traumatic childhood. So what happened is I became a sex addict. I'm still in therapy today, a matter of fact. But I wrote about all the things that, I was going. Will it work? Whatever. What I'm telling you are things that are actual facts. So.
Okay. So let's get into the book a little bit. What can you, if you could go into a little bit of the title of the book?
The manual. It's called The Manual, The Relationship with Men That's Loved by Women. The reason why I have that name is because it's actually a book for men. So if you look at the title, it says man hyphen Yavul. So it's a manual for men. See what I'm saying? So I wrote that from a man's perspective because there's not a lot of books out there from a man's perspective on relationships.
Okay. And when you writing your relationship book, are you writing from the perspective as just of what you've been through, or from the perspective as you got all the answers?
It's a lot of stuff that I've been through, but then I've also researched, and I have I got the research in there, so you can always look at it and back up whatever I'm telling you.
Okay. For the viewers and listeners who may be listening who haven't read the book, if you could give them a quick synopsis of what the book is about.
The Manual of the Relationship for Men That's Loved by Women is about everything you could just about imagine going through in a relationship, starting from the dating scene, going into online dating, going into how you could take your woman out on a date, the different scenarios of threesomes and when you should have a threesome and when you shouldn't, the downfalls of that if you decide to do it while you're in a relationship. It goes into so much.
Okay. That's
everything that you don't see in the regular one.
I think that's a dope service to offer, but at the same time, it's such a broad. Everybody has such a broad perspective and their own opinions on relationships. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just having a conversation with a guy who was telling me that the only reason that we practice monogamy is because we were brought to America. Like basically, like he's saying that we're naturally supposed to be polygamous. Like, what would you say to something like that?
Well, if from a biblical sense, keep in mind that God created Adam and Eve. Okay, that's a man and a wife. He didn't create Adam, Eve, Samantha, Jolisa, and all these people for Adam. So no, I disagree with that.
Okay. Well, I mean, okay, let me ask you this. So your relationship advice is based on your beliefs, you know what I'm saying? Is it all your belief, your faith? Because some people don't believe that Adam and Eve were the first two people.
Some people believe in aliens.
Yeah.
They don't believe in God. They'll tell you there's aliens that they never seen either. But
yeah. Oh no, I'm not disagreeing with, you know what I'm saying, if it's here or there. I'm just you know what I'm saying, is your teachings purely faith-based, or is it some of it, you know what I'm saying, just common sense knowledge, you know what I'm saying, what you've been through, or is it all strictly this is what you should do according to the Bible?
Okay. No, it's not all faith-based.
Okay.
Because a lot of the things I've been through aren't faith-based.
Right.
Okay. A lot of things I've learned are not faith-based, such as I even give an example, and I state in there that a lot of church people might not like the fact that I say, I think you should live together today, as opposed to, what the Bible tells you, get married first and then have sex and all that type of stuff. I'm thinking, a lot of people, they end up getting caught out there when they do that first. They end up with somebody that they find out a lot of things about that they didn't know once they already in the marriage. I say, live together first, learn who you're going to marry, and then once you actually know what you're getting into, then you should get married if that's your decision.
Okay. What are your views on homosexuality?
Biblically speaking, God forbids it. But me, myself, I also say the Bible tells us not to judge. So God do all the judging. I don't judge. They can live their life and do whatever they want to do. It's not for me, but do you.
Okay. So if a homosexual man or woman, or man specifically, because it's the manual, is listening to this podcast or watching this podcast, can they contact you or hit you up for relationship advice?
I'm not. Yeah, I guess it would be the same thing. You know, love is love. It doesn't matter if you're loving a man or loving a woman. There's really no difference.
Okay, okay. So would you consider yourself a love guru or something of the sort? Or how was your, if you could, how was your own you said a lot of the stuff in the book was based on yourself. So how was your current love life relationship status? How was that working out for you now that you able to write the manual and you got a lot of the answers? Is that something that's easy for you to traverse now?
Yeah, I've been married 20 years, so yeah.
Okay, okay. And how does your wife feel about you writing and giving advice to a lot of single men or men that may necessarily live the same lifestyle as you? How does she feel about that?
You don't mind?
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. No.
Okay, okay.
Brings in the income. She likes the house she lives in.
You say what now?
I said she likes the house she lives in.
Okay, okay, okay. That's that. You know what I'm saying? It's just stuff that I'm curious about, because you know, a lot of women, you know what I'm saying, might necessarily they want their men to be around the same, you know what I'm saying, the same things that they don't want their married men, you know what I'm saying, hanging out with single men, stuff like that. So, with you writing, also writing the manual, what was the inspiration that made you actually want to take the step into putting the manual into a book? Like, why didn't you just continue to preach it in the ministry or do be a counselor? What made you, a lot of people will say, if you don't want people to find information, you put it in a book. What made you want to put it into a book instead of a TV show or a podcast or something like that?
Well, number one, I'm on a podcast right now. So I'm definitely not hiding it. Okay.
Yeah.
Second,
this is my show though.
Well, I mean, you plan on blowing up, right? You don't plan on staying miniature. You start somewhere, you climb up the mountain.
Yeah. So yeah, that's definitely what I'm on.
So the reason why I put in a book is because if, let's say, for instance, I was just a regular minister, people might not want to hear what I got to say. People only go by accolades. That's the only thing they respect. You get a college degree, or this person got a doctorate, or this person got a master's. That's respect. This one has a book, writes books. That's respect. This one's an award winner. That's respect. That's what people respect. I can't say, oh, I'm just a minister, that I'm just like any other minister. Why should I listen to you?
I mean, yeah, but people had that opinion on books too. So with that being said, who is these two people on the cover of the book? Are these people that you're just regular models, or these people you know?
Just regular models.
Okay, okay. And what made you want to go with them instead of using yourself?
Next one, I am going with myself, actually.
Okay, but okay.
I wasn't well known at the time, so I start with that.
Okay, and which book is this? You said you was a award winner. How many books do you have out, and where can the people find your books at?
My collection is at on PayHip, Just Ask Dre. I'm also on Amazon, Goodreads, but my whole collection is on PayHip, payhip.com, Just Ask Dre.
Okay, okay. And if you could tell us, what is your favorite book to date and why?
I would say Carter G. Woodson, The Miseducation of the Negro. And the reason being is because we have a lot of things in common. He believes that whatever you are taught, that's exactly the opposite of what you should be learning. And I've always said that. While I was coming up, for instance, they always told us that, hold on, somebody was texting me. When I was coming up, I was always taught that you should not go into entertainment at all. No basketball, no rapping, none of that. That was shunned. Those things were lotteries. Understand this. There are 7 billionaires in all of America, 7 Black billionaires. Out of the 7, 5, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 made it because of entertainment. the field they told us not to go into. You see how that works? Also, we are taught to be humble. We don't shout out accolades and stuff like that. We told to be quiet, be humble about it. Meanwhile, while we being humble and quiet, the media goes around and says, "Oh, black on black crime. We gangsters. We killers. We're killing ourselves." Meanwhile, you don't know a single black person that stole an entire country. You don't know a single black person that started a war. You don't know a single black person who, even after, a matter of fact, let me even say this. They always talk about, they compare slavery to the Holocaust.
Mm-hmm.
Hitler got the idea from the Americans during slavery, watching them. So that's also white on white crime.
Mm-hmm.
Bigger than any black on black crime. But they don't say that.
I sound like we got another book, another type of book coming from Andre Carter soon. All right, man. So yeah, that's what I said. So with you having that type of knowledge, is we are can we only expect relationship books, or can we see a book from with that type of topics coming also?
I'm just dropping knowledge. The relationship was just my foot in the door. I talked about what I knew at the time.
What's up, man? Let me take you for a little spin, man. Show you what it feel like.
I gotta go make these drop-offs.
Man, you think you're the only one out here working, B? Gotta make drop-offs too, B.
Come on, man, get in, man. I ain't taking no for an answer, man.